Today we are going to talk about rational and irrational numbers and try to grow our understanding for what is a rational number and what is an irrational number. All right, so in looking at the definition, rational numbers are numbers that can be written as a fraction, decimal, and whole number. So you can see here I've given you a few examples. Really, rational numbers are almost any number that you can think of. I am going to talk on the next slide about irrational numbers, but here's what we have for rational numbers. 1/2, it's already a fraction. 13, that's a whole number. 7 2/5, so that would be a mixed number. 5 3/10 repeating. And then I have this really long decimal of 89.532166727, which can be written as a fraction because it is a decimal, and we know all the way out to that place value that we can do that. All right, so that leads us to irrational numbers, which are numbers that cannot be written as a fraction, cannot be written as a decimal, and cannot be written as a whole number. Okay, so examples of that would be like the number or the value of pi. Okay, so we know pi as an abbreviated form of 3.14, but really pi is this long number that never ends. And because it never ends, it ends up being irrational because we can't write it as a fraction. Okay, we can write it like close to a fraction, but we can't get it to be that exact thing. The square root of 10. The square root of 10 does not come out evenly. The square root of 9 comes out to be 3, but the square root of 10 does not come out evenly, so therefore that is an irrational number because it's, again, a number that we can't write as a fraction. And same with the square root of 19 and the square root of 150. None of those come out to be really nice numbers. So if you typed them into your calculator, yes, it would give you a decimal, but that's more of an estimate on what it is. It's not going to end. Okay? And then if pi is irrational, that would make negative pi also irrational because, again, I can't write it as a fraction. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at some examples. All right, here are our examples. So now might be a good time for you to pause the video, answer the problems, and check your work, see how you did. Maybe you'll get them right. Maybe you'll surprise yourself, huh? All right, so 42. Do you think that's rational or irrational? And I'm hoping you said rational because I can write that as a whole number, which it already is, or I can write it as a fraction. Number 2, we have the square root of 25. So the square root of 25 would come out to be 5. So therefore, what do you think it's going to be? Gosh, you're good. Rational. All right. Number 3, I have the square root of 37. The square root of 37. So I know the square root of 36 is going to be 6. I know the square root of 49 is going to be 7. So 37 appears to be in between there. So what do you think that's going to be? You're right. It's irrational. It just doesn't make sense. It's irrational. All right. 3/5. Rational or irrational? Yep, you got it. It's rational. All right, how about pi? Gosh, that number pi. What does pi stand for? 3.1459 something something continues on, and it's irrational. Okay? And then finally we have 6 1/3. Or sorry, whoa, number 6, 10 1/3. My bad. That is already a mixed number, so therefore it is rational. All right, feel free to go back and watch the video at any parts that you didn't understand. See ya.